something else. Um, I just I've been going over some stuff over the past few days. Um, some of it in relation to my mental illness, and some of it, um, I don't know about other stuff. But for me, um, my experience of my mental illness is directly tied into um, a very deep sense of cultural loss. Um, and I was traipsing around the internet. There's a website called Adoptees Have Answers. I would encourage you to look them up. It's really cool. And there is a link, or there's an inline video type thing of the song that I think Jimmy Dearly made for all of us native adoptees. So I encourage you to go find that. Um, but anyway, I was clicking around Sandy's website for the First Nations Orphans Association, and I found some interesting kind of stuff. Um, I'd seen it before, and I guess it just really didn't hit me like how important that was. Um, let's see. Let's see. I'm just gonna read the whole thing. First Nations Orphan Association receives phone calls and emails from across the United States and internationally. These adult adoptees, fostered individuals, and birth relatives are seeking assistance on how to access their birth records and find their relatives. More importantly, they are searching for their identity. However, they often are not able to articulate the concept of identity. They are at a loss for words to describe the void they feel. First Nations, adult adoptees, and fostered individuals and their families' psychological, spiritual, and legal needs are often overlooked and forgotten. These individuals and their families have endured years of silent, unexpressed grief and pain. They are left to live and resolve this pain of separation, without culturally specific therapeutic intervention or spiritual assistance that addresses the loss and grief caused by separation from family and culture. Okay? Um, so, I think it's really funny that when I went crazy and was asking for a medicine person, you know, I was looking for that culturally specific therapeutic intervention and spiritual assistance that would address the lasting grief caused by separation from family and culture. Hello? Hello? Wake up! Wake up and smell the damn bananas! For real! Oh my god! I can't even begin to it just, and my whole, you know, delusional content, what the voices were saying. It's funny because it all kind of tied back into that. You know what I mean? And basically, what has happened with me is that I have just come to realize that, no one. I've tried to ask for help. I tried to ask for culturally specific stuff from various people, and at every turn I'm sort of, oh, you need to go to your red lake relatives and figure out something with them, or there's always some excuse they come up with for turning me away, and it's if you realized how fucked up this is and how, how much it's just insane, you would not be, you would probably not be so quick to just judge me and turn me away. Um, and I kind of want to talk about, uh, some of the the perceptions of other people in the community regarding mental illness. I think, at least, I have a doctor over at the Native American Community Clinic, and I mean, I haven't really gone into detail about my breakdown or anything like that. I haven't really shared any specific stuff with my general practitioner, but I think she buys into the whole like modern, oh, you just have a chemical imbalance. It's like, wake up, smell of bananas. I mean, obviously, I mean, for me, it was like, okay, this was highly tied into like my sense of identity, my sense of self, and my sense of spirituality. I mean, if I hadn't had this big, gaping giant hole, uh, you know, if I had not, you know, had this loss of adoption and, not being connected to my culture and not being connected to the Native community, I mean, I honestly think had I been better connected, had I actually um, got the help I needed and gone to a medicine person and started like, okay, peeling away the layers, peeling away, okay, I was adopted, I have all this anger inside me. Um, these are, to me, it's like a spiritual thing to be doctored. And but no, I get white doctors and drugs. And it's funny because Sandy then goes on to say that many adoptees, fostered individuals, and their families have used the mainstream services to meet their immediate psychological needs. However, these services often fall short of addressing the deep wounds caused by separation from culture. It is important that they reconnect with tribal elders and culturally competent professionals, which Erdman clearly was not, thank you, who recognize and address loss of identity, loss of personal power, loss of legal status, and disruption of family structure. Okay? So there is like all this stuff that she literally like puts it out there and says, okay, point blank, this is what's going on. Um, and I think the problem I ran into is like even when I was like sharing pieces of my mental illness experience in the adoptees group, um, it was like it was funny because Sandy said like the last time I was over there, she's like, yeah, and we were so supportive because we all ended up laughing and making light of it and stuff. And I mean, that's cool and everything, but like I also think like I had these deeper needs that I don't know if I didn't express them right. I don't know if I was hoping someone was gonna help me find somebody that I could go to help me basically do it, doctor me or whatever. But this is something. I mean, and the voices kind of alluded to it a lot. They're like, you walked without mother to show them. You walked without father to show them. Um, and now I'm walking without a road, man. So and I'm just, it's on one hand I feel blessed because I feel like the knowledge that I've been seeking lately has come to me fairly easily. And for those people who say there are no coincidences in the universe, that's kind of, you know, good stuff. But, yeah, I still feel like there's a piece missing because, I put it this way, like in my state of mind, in my breakdown or whatever, um, I put it this way. I went to the dead, which is the Manitou who have crossed over and they're part of the spirit world. I went to them for something I should have onto the living for. Um, and you might be like, oh, that's just baloney, whatever, I don't really care what you think, but yeah, like I had this need to connect, like, with who I am as a Métis person, as a person of Ojibwe descent, as a person of Cree descent. I had this need to sort of, okay, who am I? How do I fit all these pieces together? Um, so I had that need, but I haven't yet found anybody willing to help me address that need. So I'm kind of stuck. you know, between a rock and a hard place. And yeah, I was told to like go ask for what I needed and to like, I mean, there's a lot of anger I think that I feel, and I hate to say this, but I think there's a lot of anger I feel even towards Native people because like, you know, I sometimes just feel like I wasn't welcomed back into the community. And I'd ask for help and they'd you know look at me and be like, you're just crazy the white man way or whatever, like I think there was that aspect. And I'm just like, okay, clearly, I'm finding that as I've come through this work, as I've been, trying to figure out all the pieces and fit them all together, I've kind of found that, okay, no one is here helping me. I mean, and okay, I accept that. You know, um, that's fine. I can handle that. But the darkness sometimes that I have felt going down this path um, that I'm on. Basically, the insight I received regarding that was that my heart was the thing that was gonna light the way for me, um, and that even though yes, you know, people have no idea what's really happening with me and I'm having to go this way alone, that, I'm not alone, that my ancestors are with me and that they're helping me and they're pointing things out. And, I mean, I'm sure Dr. Erdman would be like, oh, that's magical thinking, or that's just superstitious, or whatever, but this is a guy who, when faced with the fact that everything living on Earth is genetically related, doesn't understand what it means when people say all my relations or say that we're all related. So, I mean, there's like the cultural stupidity that I encountered when I was in the hospital, and then there's all kinds of like, I think Native people are reticent to help me because they're not sure what to do with me. Maybe they're not sure what to make of my madness or something. I don't know. But I felt like I needed to like tie this stuff together and sort of present it. So, thank you for listening. All my relations.